I'm here today with Den. In a moment we'll have a chat also with David, who's at a later stage of the rehabilitation program. I thought we'd look at it before first, and then later we'll focus on an after of the same injury condition. So Danny, if you could just give us a brief introduction and overview of the pain you're getting, maybe the medical history associated with your rehab problems.
Sure. I had an operation probably 14 months ago on a torn meniscus, and it was reasonably successful, but I still find it painful, and Dan here is going to fix it for me.
I am indeed. Starting again with basic rehab, if you look at any structure in your body, you've got hard tissue, which is your bone, you've got soft tissue, which is the muscle, and you've got the nerves. There's a problem with any one, the others have to try and compensate. What we're doing, instead of putting the strain through the knee, aggravating any osteoarthritis in the joint, we're putting the strain at the muscle. Instead of the force going through the knee, through the cartilage, aggravating the condition, the force goes through the muscle, it's able to stabilise the knee, and we start looking at a reduction of the symptoms. In terms of a standard knee rehabilitation, one of the main things we want to work on is what's called proprioception. Basic proprioception is the feeling you get from your muscles, and it gives you that awareness. So if I was to close my eyes and hold my arm at a certain angle, even without looking at the elbow, I can sense what angle that joint is at, and that's proprioception. The same thing happens with your knee in terms of a stabilisation. Even without then looking at the joint, you can feel what position it's at. Increasing that sense increases the stabilisation and increases how much knee protection you're having from that injury.
So if we look at an extension of the proprioception or balance exercise we were doing before, as well as the proprioception, we want to be looking at strengthening. If we can improve the strength of the joint as well as that sensation of joint position, we're again increasing that stabilisation. What we're doing here is combining the two. We're combining the work we were doing previously just on the wobble board with a strengthening element to it. So it's not a simple sit to stand exercise as if you're standing up from a chair, because you're using an unstable base. In our rehab program here, we're trying to prepare people to be able to exercise out of the gym and out of the exercise rehab setting. If we do everything with a stable base in controlled conditions and a controlled environment, we aren't able to emulate any conditions which might happen outside. What we're doing here is emulating those conditions and preparing the client for the best possible rehabilitation. So here we're working on the vastus medialis muscle, which is the muscle on the inside of the leg, or the inner quadricep muscle. Attaches to the kneecap and make sure it stays in line. So while we can do quite advanced exercises in terms of wobble boards and squats and leg press, which have the potential to aggravate the knee, this is a much more basic exercise, a much more early rehab exercise, where we can work on getting that stabilisation and actually teaching your brain how to activate a muscle. It's like any new skill. You try and learn to throw a ball with your non-preferred hand. Even though it might not be any weaker than your preferred hand, you can't throw as far. Exactly the same thing here. It's a neuromuscular link. We're teaching the brain how to tell the nerves, how to tell the muscle to switch on. As soon as we can get all these basic rehab progressions done, we can build to a more functional exercise setting.